All right, so of that experimental terminology, there are a number of things that I like to test on, and I have them all in this question. So it's mostly about figuring out our response and our explanatory variables and assessing how many treatments there would be. So I'd like you to take a moment, pause the video, try out this question as always, and then when you're done, come back and we'll discuss the answers together. All right, so hopefully you tried this. In this experiment, we were looking to see the level of cleaning for each shirt based on the different washing cycles that we were used on here. And so we're trying to test the effectiveness of a new organic laundry detergent. And it's a little bit silly that we're not testing it against any other detergent. But my imagination is thinking that we're going to write down the label, like on the label, what people should use in terms of the wash cycle and water temp. So our response, the thing we are interested in at the end, right? Remember, it's explanatory to response, the thing that we think is going to be influenced. Our response is the level of cleanliness of these shirts. Or level of cleaning, however you want to call it. The cleanliness, blah, 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 which is on a scale of 1 to 10. So it is very subjective. Our explanatory variables, well, what are the things that we think might influence how clean the shirt is? What are the things we're manipulating or changing? And we're manipulating two things, water temp and the wash cycle. And that's all we need for our explanatory variables. If we want to get more into it, there are levels to these explanatory variables. Water temp is cold, warm, or hot, and our wash cycles are regular or delicate. But we only care about the names of these variables, not what the outcomes are or possible data. So our number of treatments. Remember, this is about combinations. So we could do cold water with the regular cycle, cold water with delicates, warm water regular, warm water with delicates, and hot water regular, hot water with delicates. So you should have come up with, oh no, should have come up with 6 possible treatments here. I wanted to change my color. Did not work. And our experimental units, what are we collecting data on? What did we randomly assign? It said each shirt is randomly assigned. So the shirts themselves. Now, there is no guarantee that the shirts themselves are the actual experimental units versus the observational units. So I'm going to take a moment and take a break from this and scroll on down to a cute little picture I made. It is possible that we could have had the shirts divided into loads, and the loads would have been randomly assigned. And then what we actually observed were the t-shirts themselves. So it is possible that the experimental units and observational units do not line up. However, we were using both the shirts as the observational and the experimental in this previous question. So our last piece is the average cleaning level that is recorded. Is that going to be a parameter or a statistic? In this case, since we're dealing with a sample of 60 shirts, we're going to get out a statistic, right? Anything that comes from a sample is going to be a statistic. And then why did they use blinding? The simplest, easiest way to answer this is to just say reduce bias. But again, the real reason is because this level of cleanliness is very subjective. And personally, I have a belief before I even get started that not hot water and delicate, but hot water and regular cycle in my mind is going to do the best job possible. This is why I take scalding hot showers, is because I feel like hot water gets you cleaner. So whether or not I might intentionally do it, I might accidentally sort of see that in my subjective 1 through 10 rating of how clean that shirt is.